guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Titanic conspiracy theory and people that were involved and all the evidence that follows it. So hello guys. Hey guys, I'm Emily and I believe that the Olympic and the Titanic ships were swapped. Hey guys, I'm Emily and I have something to say. I believe that the Titanic and the Olympic were actually swapped as a part of an insurance scheme to get the White Star back up from their debt. Alright, so the major player behind this scheme is JP Morgan, the owner of White Star's parent company. The White Star owned the Titanic, Olympic, and Californian, among many other ships. Other players are J. Bruce Ismay, Lord Perry, and Thomas Andrews, which are all friends of Morgan. Alright, so basically the motives for all these people was that they were in debt, so they thought that by sinking the Titanic they would get plenty of insurance money so that their company would get out of debt and they would be able to start their company back up again. Alright, so some evidence that we have right now is that the Olympic had 16 portholes and the Titanic had 14, but at the time of the sailing, the Titanic had 16 portholes. And some photographs of the early Titanic show 14, but at the time of the sinking, it had 16 portholes, which leads us to believe that it wasn't actually the Titanic that sank, but the Olympic. The Olympic windows were actually unevenly spaced while the Titanics were even, and on the time of the sail, the Titanic showed uneven portholes. Okay, so a few months before the Titanic sailed, there was actually a nationwide coal strike that put many people out of work. Somehow, the Titanic couldn't find any workers. Many men refused to work at any price, and rumors circulated that the ship was actually swapped as part of an insurance scam and that the Titanic was to be sunk. Alright, so now we're going to talk about last-minute cancellation. So, many rich and prestigious people were actually booked to ride the Titanic, but canceled many days before, such as J.P. Morgan, the owner of White Star's parent company, who canceled days earlier, claiming illness. But Morgan was actually seen perfectly well with the mistress on the day of the sinking, New York Times reports. Also, Henry Clay, Frick, Horace J. Harding, and George Washington Vanderbilt, all connected to Morgan, canceled, making us think, is that a link to why the Titanic sunk? Is that a link to the insurance scam? Did their friend J.P. Morgan warn them with what's ahead? Alright, so now we're going to discuss the role of the Californian. So that was another big ship owned by J.P. Morgan, which carried no passengers and went to the Atlantic and stopped and waited. It only carried cargo, carried 3,000 wool blankets and jumpers. Edith Russell, a survivor, was adamant that the Titanic officers assured her the Californian was on the way. Yikes.
To save the day.
To save the day. So now we're going to discuss the Olympic incidents. So basically on September 20th of 1911, the Olympic crashed into the HMS Hawke, which caused problems for the White Star, meaning they take it out of service while they repaired it, and the voyage of the Titanic has to be pushed back from March 20th to April 10th. The White Star could not afford to push back the sail because of legal bills and the Olympic repairs to pay. So basically, they had to come up with a way to make up money from the Olympic not being able to sail, so basically no revenue, and the money they couldn't get back from the incident. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the blackmail. So basically, Paddy Fenton told his co-workers that the boats were actually switched. A letter sent by an Australian man to the Northern Star newspaper on July 31st of 1996 details the conversation his son had with Paddy. The excerpt reads, "When the surviving crew got to port, they were all taken aside and met by two men, one in a high position in the company, the other in a high position of the government. The government man read to the crew that the official secret acts explains if they were told the real reason for the sinking or rumors of the insurance scam, they would serve a minimum of 20 years in jail and would never get a job when they got out." How should I start it off?
Freaking go!
Tell me when you're gonna go!
I already went. God, you're so annoying. Go!
Okay. Stop!
What am I doing?
You're looking at me like this. You better not have started play already, I swear. This is why I believe the Titanic and the Olympic were actually swapped, and that it was all part of an insurance scam.